Hey guys, thought I'd put up another tutorial video, and this one is about wefting hair into a ponytail. And wefting just means that you're taking strands of hair and grouping them together and then sewing it or gluing it or whatever into the wig to create a more thick wig. Here's my base wig I'm working with, which is my Riho wig. It's a long ponytail there. As you can see up close, when you pull it up into a ponytail, you can see like the wig cap and what's underneath, which is ugly and unrealistic. I mean, obviously, when you pull your real hair up into a ponytail, there, you can't see all this crap. So you want to get rid of that whenever you have a wig with a ponytail, so that your ponytail looks real. It's good to start with a thick wig. If you don't have a thick wig to start with, which I did not, there's a little trick you can use to make it thicker. As you can see now, this ponytail is super thick. Take a human hairbrush. You want to take the bristly kind. They have the kind that just have, the thicker like plastic bristles, but this one is the sharp kinds of bristles. And brush your hair with that, because what it's going to do is separate your hair fibers here just enough to make this nice and super thick, which is what you want, because, I mean, obviously you don't want a stringy ponytail. So either start with a nice thick wig or make yours thick, and then go ahead and pull it up into your base ponytail. It doesn't have to be the most beautiful thing in the world, because you're going to be wefting over it anyway. I've got hairs in the front here because those are actually going to be cut and curled for the character's design, so you can just ignore those. But I've got my ponytail here, not very neat, but like I said, I'm wefting over it so that the grossness of it will be covered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by taking some of this hair off the ponytail, probably underneath, just in non-noticeable places. Just clip it off so I can start making my wefts. Okay, you'll want to make your wefts now. There's many different ways to do this. What I like to do is just wrap my wig fibers in some fabric and then stitch over with the sewing machine 3 or 4 times. If you do this way, it's best to find some fabric that's pretty close to the color of your wig hair. It's not entirely necessary, but I think it looks cleaner. If you're not a sewing person or you don't want to do this way, there are other ways to do it without sewing. Like I said, there's tons of ways, and you can Google them. I included one link over there in the sidebar, which is Katie Bear's no-sew caulking glue method, so you guys can check that out if you want. So go ahead, and I usually just make one weft at a time because I never know how many I'm actually going to need. So I've got my first weft now, and I'm going to go ahead and start applying it to the wig. Okay, what I've got here is a needle with some orange thread on it and then my weft. Let me see if I can set this camera somewhere where you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Now, what did I do with my weft? There it is. Okay, so I got my weft here, and I'm going to put it underneath the outside of the wig netting. Just fit it in there like that to where it's sticking out this way, and then I'm just going to sew it into my netting. Now, while I'm doing this, I just want to say that if you guys, again, are not the sewing type, you can also hot glue them onto the netting. I personally don't like to do that just because I always burn myself, and plus I don't think it looks as neat. You always have this glob of hot glue on the underneath. So I try to avoid that, but that's definitely an option if you don't like to sew. It's hard to sew this trying to keep my hand out of the way, but sometimes it does take a little maneuvering to get it to go through the netting if it's a little thick. Just put a good few stitches in there and make sure it's secured. You don't have to, go forever on it. Let's see where there we go. I usually put anywhere between 5 to 8 stitches, just enough to make sure it's secured. I mean, once you get it, pulled into the ponytail, you're not going to be messing with it or brushing it or anything anyway, because it's going to be up in a ponytail, so Alright, let me knot off my thread here so it doesn't come undone on me. Find my scissors somewhere over here. There they are. Okay, so now I have the weft actually sewn into the wig netting, so I can pull it back here. That'll be the general appeal of it. Now what you're going to want to do is something called training. So let me make my way into the bathroom and then I'll show you how to train your wefts to go the direction you want. Okay, so you want a can of hairspray and then a hair dryer. Get my hair dryer down. Okay, so what you're going to do is spray your weft here with the hairspray so that it's not soaking wet, but pretty wet. And now, I'm not going to talk, I'm going to try to hold this camera in my mouth while I video what I'm doing. You're going to take your hair dryer and hairspray it while you're holding it back in this direction until the hairspray dries. Hopefully I can show that here. Oh yes, you do want to apply heat while your hair drying unless your wig is curly, then just keep it on cold air. Okay, now as you can see, even though I'm not holding the weft, it's trained to come back in this direction without me actually doing anything to do so. So I'm just going to let that chill for a while. If it happens to fall back down while you're doing your other wefts, that's fine. It doesn't really make a difference. But it should stay, for the most part, heading in that direction. So as you can see, my weft is covering this hideous brown wig cap netting up here. And it's also covering up the kind of matted look of the rest of the ponytail. So I'm going to continue adding wefts just like this one, the same exact method, up and down my wig on both sides so that I can get it nice and covered. And then after I get done with that, I'll be back to show you how to go ahead and pull it back into the rest of your ponytail. Alright, I'm totally done with one side. As you can see, it's nice and neat now. No wig netting is showing. And just to give you a contrast, I have not done the other side yet, so you can still see over here it looks really sloppy and you can still see the netting and everything. So once again, here's the nice and neat side. It looks as if you could have really pulled your hair up into it. All I did was I took the wefts that I had shown you before and I just pulled them into the ponytail holder here. This particular wig is going to have another hair clip on with hair sticking up in a bun, so I wasn't too worried about neatness of ponytail holder, but obviously you can do that however you want. This is just the way I've done it. So looks nice and neat now. No netting showing through. Okay, the ponytail is all done. Both sides are totally covered in the wefting. Like I said, how you decide to gather your wefts is entirely up to you. Like I mentioned before, mine's going to have a big clip on the back up here, so I wasn't that concerned about it looking neat, but whatever you do back there is your choice. So, view from the front here, and the top. No wig netting is showing, so yay, success!